in 5 minutes. Hansi Flick, Barcelona. I see a lot of Barcelona fans question Hansi Flick and say, hey, you should not be too excited about this manager. And they are very right. I think that, for fans who experienced Xavi Hernandez and how he started well and petered off afterwards, it's only understandable that fans are a bit cautious right now. It's only understandable that fans go, I'm not so sure this is going to work. But let's peel back on what makes Flick a different manager from Xavi. First, Hansi Flick has coached in Bayern Munich, has coached in Germany, has had experience, had won the league, had won the Champions League, and understands the pressure of working and coaching a big team. Xavi, on the other hand, was in Saudi or Qatar when he was brought to Barcelona. So it was understandable that when things got rough, his ability to handle them would not be as great. It's not because he's a terrible manager. It is because there are some things you learn from experience. There are some things that being on the job, making mistakes teaches you more than what you read or how intelligent you are. I still believe Xavi is an amazing manager. If Barcelona had time on their hands, maybe they would have given him the Mikel Arteta treatment, given him more years to just stay there and learn and grow. But right now, they don't get that time anymore. So first, Flick is a more experienced manager than Xavi. Secondly, Hansi Flick has the ability to work with what he has. So the first season Xavi came to Barcelona, the first thing he did was, I need players. And he went all out to get loaned players. Aubameyang, Adama Traore, Ferran Torres. Who else did he get? He brought Dani Alves back. He knew he needed players that would work for him. Now, while that is good, with Hansi Flick, he's like, okay, I get you guys are broke. I guess you don't have the kind of money that I need to get the kind of players that I want. I will work with what I have. Now, last season, one of Barcelona's biggest problem was the pivot position. And, Xavi complained about it and how he needed a pivot. He needed money to buy players. And all of those arguments were true. But with Hansi Flick, he knows the problems and he doesn't complain about the problems. He finds ways to solve them. With no pivot, he made Mark Cassado and Mark Bernal his double pivots when most times single pivot were used. And when Mark Bernal got injured, he converted Eric Garcia to a pivot, something, I should add, that Xavi was doing before. When there were complaints about right back, he stuck with Jules Koundé and said, hey man, you've got to play right back for me. And right now, Jules Koundé looks like prime Dani Alves. I'm joking, guys. Anyways, he did not complain about Raphinha. He ensured that, hey, I know I don't have the players I want. I've got a lot of injury worries. He revived an Inigo Martinez, who we thought was going to leave Barcelona this season, to becoming a mainstay alongside the 17-year-old Paul Cobassy. He relied on Balde a lot more. He's giving minutes to Serge Dominguez, a 17-year-old, players like Hector Fort, players like Mark Cassado, players like even Pablo Torre, who Xavi could not find a place for in the team. He's beginning to give them a sense of belonging. So while Barcelona fans have a right to be skeptical about Hansi Flick's and Barcelona's possibility of success this season, you should also realize that this is a man working with limited resources and still performing as he's doing. The team plays better, they perform better, they look a lot more confident right now, they train harder, they look a lot fitter than they were under Xavi. Although Xavi's entourage wouldn't want to believe that, you watch this Barcelona team and you're confident that for 90 minutes, they would run their socks off. They would freakishly run their socks off. Third, there is a certain Lamine Yamal. Last season, Lamine was just 16, his first full season at Barcelona, and there was a lot for him to learn. Right now, he's 17, had one full season, was the best young player at the Euros, played all the matches except one for Spain at the Euros. He's a lot older, a lot mature, and a lot better than it was last season. So while you're scared that maybe Barcelona wouldn't do well, you kind of just have a feeling that with Lamine Yamal, you will see magic. There is a possibility, like an 85-90% possibility that Lamine Yamal will make magic for you. That is a difference. That is the advantage that Hansi Flick has. He has a player in Lamine that can make his team better. And I should also add here, that players like Raphinha and Lewandowski look a different gravy from what we saw last season. Pedri is a better player playing as a double pivot than he is playing as a number 10. We are seeing players like Alejandro Balde begin to improve. And I say this because I'm sure many Barcelona fans would notice last season Balde was terrible. Boy, he was terrible last season. There's an improvement in Alejandro Balde. We are seeing Mark Cassado. We are seeing Raphinha become a beast of a captain. So why I'm sure and I understand why Barca fans are worried. I'm saying to them, hold your horses. You've got a good manager here. And I'm not saying here that Barcelona would win the league or win the Champions League or win the Spanish Cup, but I'm seeing a team that now has an identity and a coach the players love, and one whose style of play fits into what this team wants to do. It fits right into what Lewandowski, how Lewandowski wants to play, fits right into how Raphinha wants to play, how Lamine Yamal wants to play. So it's a different thing from what we used to have. So for Barcelona fans, just take it easy. You've lost twice this season, once to Monaco and the other to Osasuna, but you know, watching Barcelona, that those were blips. Those were not, they were not bombs. They were just blips that happens in a movie. Like my microphone stopping sometimes and it's not as loud as it should be. So I think Barcelona fans should be excited. So if Barca can stay top of the table to the end of the year, maybe with 4 or 5 points ahead of Real Madrid, I see something happening. Okay, I'm a bit excited, so excited for my own good. But I think that Barcelona can stay at the top of the table to the end of the season. I think they will. I'd have to look through their matches to know what teams they'll play. They'll play Real Madrid in October this month, so that's a big one for me. I think they can beat Real Madrid without Dani Carvajal. I'm looking at Lucas Vasquez. I'm like, yeah, I know Vasquez was good, but we've got something different right now, baby. We've got Raphinha in that position. He's going to track you down. All right, I'm super excited. So thank you all for being a part of this.